Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Time to shine the light on Navy women's golf, and boy, do we get to shine the big light on them this week. Program's been in existence for 9 years, but no bigger day than last week when this team won the Patriot League championship. Christine McDonnell joins us to talk about that. And Christine, you had done pretty much everything you could in a Navy uniform, performed well, all-conference performer. You guys had been this close a couple of times. Last year, obviously, you weren't able to compete because of COVID. As a senior, what is it like to be able to leave with this legacy complete, being able to raise this program to the level of conference champion and NCAA participant?
It's amazing. I mean, like you said, we've been so close my freshman and sophomore year, finishing second just by a few shots. And last year, I think we had a really good shot, but with COVID and everything, it all got canceled. So it was definitely very exciting to be able to go out with this team in my last tournament or my last conference tournament and be able to go out and win.
Was there a moment last week where things kind of came into focus like, hey, not only are we competing here, but we really can win this thing and finish the job?
Mm-hmm. I think after the first and second round, when we were tied for the lead with Boston, I think we kind of all got together and we recouped and we were like, hey, even though we didn't play for a month, we still can go out, we still can compete well, we still can play. So if we just go out and play our game the way that we know how to and try to just stay in the moment, I think we were able to go through and just kind of play our best without really having any sort of expectation and putting any sort of added pressure onto it.
I was going to say, during that month, was there, some shadows swinging in the, short rec period that you would get to at least get out of your room and walk around and do something? I mean, how did you stay focused and reasonably in tune to golf with basically not being able to hit golf balls for a month?
Right. It was definitely very tough. I had a putter and a few golf balls in my room, so I would just putt around a little bit in here. And there wasn't much we could do because all of our stuff was over at the golf course. So a lot of us didn't have clubs or anything where we could go out and hit balls. So I know for me personally, I did a lot of visualization to try to remember like what exactly it was that I was working on in my swing. But there really is no better practice than actually being able to do it ourselves. So that first week that we came back, we kind of just grinded down and just tried to get back and get as many reps in as we could just to try to get back to where we were at before we got shut down.
I was going to say, I mean, you can go to the driving range and hit balls till you're purple in the face. I mean, how fast can you get that rhythm back and just the feel of everything? I mean, you've hit golf balls, obviously, for a good portion of your entire, life here. But when you don't play like that for a while, how fast does it take to kind of get that rhythm and that feel back in the swing?
It takes a few days. I think, like you said, I've been playing for a really long time, so the basic fundamentals are all kind of the same. So I found that anytime I've taken a long time off, if I just kind of start back at the beginning with the very just basic fundamental things, it makes it a lot quicker to build back up to where I was at. But it definitely does take a few days to get the rhythm and everything and like the normal feel and speed back.
When you play junior golf and things like that, growing up, obviously from Georgia, you're from a very competitive part of the country when it comes to that sort of thing. When did you know that golf could be the kind of vehicle that not only would allow you to compete at the Division I level, but certainly get a great education like coming to the United States Naval Academy?
Right. So I actually have been playing golf almost my entire life. I didn't start competitively until I was maybe 9 or 10, but my dad played golf in college. So I always went out to the golf course with him when I was really young. And so when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, I had the idea that I wanted to play competitively. And as I played more and more, I kind of saw that it was something that could potentially take me on the same path that my dad went on, which was something I always really looked up to.
What would be the best way to describe your game and what makes you successful on the golf course?
I generally like to play aggressively. I hit the ball further than someone who's my size normally would because I'm kind of short, but I generally play better when I can take aggressive lines and I can hit a lot of greens. That's when I play my best. So if there's a possibility for me to go out and hit a lot of greens and kind of play aggressively and not have to take shorter clubs off the tee or stuff like that, then I generally am able to play better.
I asked Tori the same question a couple of weeks ago. You get to arrive on the tee box and you get to pick the other three in your foursome. Who would those three people be?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. That's really tough. I have to think about that because there's so many great people that I could pick from.
What I thought was interesting, she picked a president, a former golfer, and her coach, which was really an unbelievable collection of people. And, you know, I mean, playing golf, obviously enjoying golf, people that influence you in golf. I imagine that roster of people could be just about anybody, couldn't it?
Yeah, so I think if I had to pick, I think I would choose Jordan Spieth. I'm a big Jordan Spieth fan. Do they have to be alive? Could they be dead? Could they be dead?
No, yeah, you pick anybody.
I think Bobby Jones, that would just be super cool because he was a big golfer in Georgia and started in a lot of stories with the game. And then I think also Arnold Palmer, just because he's iconic with golf and everything, and being able to play with him and kind of get some of the information that he had from his time as a player, I think would be incredible.
Shot of my life came at 17 there at the Naval Academy. It's the shot that keeps me coming back to playing golf, no matter how bad I hit the shots on the other 17 holes that are out there after getting a hole in one at 17. Was there a shot at any point in your life where you're like, yeah, I can do this and I like this, and this is why I like the game of golf?
Yeah, when I was in, I think it was 7th grade, I had a hole in one. I was at this par 3 course with my dad, and it was 90 yards. I hit like a 9-iron because I didn't hit it anywhere back then. And I hit it, and I looked at my dad. I was like, Dad, I think it went in. And he was like, no, it just went over the back of the green. And I was like, no, I think it went in. And sure enough, it did. And so that was just unbelievable, super exciting.
90 yards with a 9-iron in 7th grade. Absolutely amazing. Let me ask you about that. The whole process of learning golf, knowing what club to hit. I mean, there's so much people. I think when we watch golf on TV, we see a golfer with a club in their hand. They go to the tee, whack, they hit it, and then they go to the next shot and go to the next shot. We don't see the shot shaping, how you determine, what club you hit for what yardage. Going through that process and having the patience that it takes to do that, was that a challenge, or was it just something that you relished and embraced as you learn the game and continue certainly to learn the game every day that you play it?
It definitely was kind of exciting and a lot of fun to learn, because it was, for me, learning how far I hit all of my clubs. I honestly just went out one day and I just hit them and just measured how far they went. And from time to time, like, those yardages will change. And also when you're playing and you have a specific yardage, there's generally one club that you'll hit for that yardage, but there's also factors such as like wind or temperature and stuff like that you have to consider. So a lot of times there's 2 or 3 different clubs that you can hit from a particular shot, and it's all just kind of shot shaping and figuring out which shot is the best given the scenario that you're in. So I think it's just a lot of practice and just a lot of making sure that you've hit those shots before and that you've seen them before, so that you know that when you're doing it in a competition, you're able to do it.
How do you like the new changes at the Naval Academy golf course?
I think they're a lot of fun. I was one of the few people that got to play the old course a bunch and the new course. So I think a lot of the changes it's definitely tough. It's a tough course now, but I think a lot of the changes are a lot of fun.
Christine, appreciate the time. Congratulations to you and your teammates and Coach Nadia, obviously, for a job well done. And certainly when you walk out the door, you've accomplished it all now at the Naval Academy, and go have some fun at the NCAA tournament. Appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much.